Hey guys, this is Mectojic, back with another episode of the Translucent Plastics Archive. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about something that, well, isn't really translucent, as you can see, but it is very much so late 90s and early 2000s in its design aesthetic. What is it? It's the Macally Qball. So I've talked about the Macally eyeball before, and this is sort of just an evolution and maybe a premium version of that. The Qball is very rare today, and it's interesting for a few different reasons. Let's just have a look at the back first. So it says Macally, it's called the Qball, USB optical trackball. Now what's interesting about that? Well, first off, let's talk about the design, right? So it's meant to be, it's not really ambidextrous, it's just a right-handed mouse. It's a trackball, which means you control it with the finger. The trackball can easily be removed like this, and you'll actually see if you look at it, it's got a little bit of glitter. It's actually quite attractive. Yeah, it's just a very glittery thing. It's kind of fun to use. And then it easily just pops back in when you want to, after you've cleaned it, just go straight back in like that. So what's interesting about this? Optical trackballs have only really become a thing in recent years amongst trackball enthusiasts. But this is one of the oldest and very earliest optical trackballs. What does that actually mean? It means that the sensors are actually detecting movement of this trackball in the side rather than using what a traditional trackball would use, which is roller sensors, detecting it through movement. This is detecting it through optical. So it's quite interesting in that sense. I don't know, I'm not really much of a trackball person myself, and I tried to get used to using this, but I'm not very good at it. So I'm not really sure how this is an improvement over a traditional trackball or anything. I just know that it's fairly interesting from a historical stance. And there was a trackball that everyone really loved back in the day. I think it was Microsoft, but this is sort of the closest you can get to that. That one is really huge, I think. And this one is fairly large itself and similar in design. As for the buttons, you've actually got the scroll wheel on the side here, which is very cool. The scroll wheel you'll actually notice from other Macally products. Once again, seems to be sort of the same kind of idea here. You can see another one here. It's the same kind of part, maybe just a little bit expanded. Nothing particularly special about that. But there, scroll wheel there, 2 clicking buttons. These can be customized with software that Macally produced. I would have come with a driver's CD, but you can get them online now. And 2 more buttons here as well. I think these default automatically to sort of just a left and right click on both of these, left and right, one of these. And then they've got the scroll button with a button here. But you can customize that. Though, of course, Macally's drivers only work in macOS 9 and PowerPC OS 10. So good luck getting it to work beyond just left and right click today. Though, that's still good enough, right, to use as a mouse. And of course, you would keep it flat on the table and you wouldn't have to move it around as you use this Qball. Let's just have a look at how it looks when you plug it in, because that will show you how it lights up. After all, this is optical. So there you go, right? We've actually got optical tracking inside the mouse, and it suddenly changes from this sort of dark purple, which you can see is the actual color of the trackball, into a red, and there's how it goes in. So, not bad at all. It's got a decent tracking to it, though I'm just not an expert at using trackballs at all, so I'm not really sure what to do with it, other than just display it and talk about it on this channel. So that's the Macally Qball. They're very rare today. I'm not sure if they're actually valuable or if they're just appreciated by a small niche of people, but there you are. If you're a trackball enthusiast, maybe you found this video interesting. And otherwise, I don't really talk about translucent, non-translucent stuff on this playlist, but I thought I'd just mention this. You do have a bit of that translucency coming through from the ball itself and from the cable as well, the USB cable. But other than that, it is sort of anticipating that early 2000s design language, which is emphasizing a more metallic look. This is all plastic, so it's just painted plastic. It's not actually metal, but it sort of alludes to that metallic, futuristic look of the early 2000s, combined with that Y2K sensibility of curves and sort of weird curves and shapes. This doesn't look anything like a mouse most mice you'd find today, so it's weird in that sense too. But anyway, I hope you found this interesting. That's the Qball, and please subscribe if you want to see some more translucent plastics.